What the fuck? I like Vic Mensa, man. Battles?
I did want to ask you about. I'm sorry.
That's
What,
okay, Joe usually does
what do you think about the state of Chicago?
Nah, it's
rap
too
these
late.
days?
Chicago rap, I think we always got pioneers in Chicago. We've had a lot.
I'm about to get to that.
A lot of different waves, and
We about to do the story time.
And kind of waiting to see if there's a new, if there's a new thing coming out of Chicago. But
Like a new movement?
Like some new artists, because when me and Chance were coming up doing our thing in the city heavy, I mean, we've had a whole movement of artists from all different angles, and then you had drill as a scene that was like everybody was biting their flows all over, and right now I'm just peeping to see if there's something new coming out of Chicago. That's all.
Do you feel drill is like done? Because you also mentioned that you felt you were a little bit repulsed by the fact that so many people outside the culture of Chicago, they hyped up the music, not knowing that real lives were being affected, deaths and other type of madness happened.
Now, why did he say this? Because you just drew way more attention. You just should have just shut the fuck up. Why did you say that? Why did you ask that question knowing the type of videos that you had made? You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was wise for Vic Mensa to press Akademiks in this moment. I don't. But why ask that question knowing what you've posted? I don't get it. I don't understand.
Within the music, and the music was a real life depiction of that. Like, how did you feel about that?
I wanted to slap you in your face, honestly. And I'm just seeing you here.
Like, what did you think his response was going to be? I don't.
So I'm like, this is a tame environment. So I would keep it to my words. But I really felt as if people exactly like you sensationalized and made a following off of clowning situations that we go through in real life. And I think, niggas ain't had no right. You specifically, like, you ain't never have a right. Like, whatever made you feel like you had a space to have a perspective on our people dying on a daily basis?
I mean, it's not lame for him to feel the way he feels, but I guess inferring violence, I guess. I mean, I don't really help your point at all, but it ain't wrong for him to feel, like, annoyed sitting next to a nigga that was talking crazy about niggas from a place that, he's not from. And I don't know, it's not even you covering certain shit. It's just the way you talk about certain shit, that can be extremely disrespectful. I'm not going to look at one of those videos, but I've seen those before, and I'm like, this is really, really in poor taste, gang. I'm not going to lie. Like, if one of his family members just decided, hey, we just going to go on ahead and off this nigga, not saying that they be in the right, but you talking crazy about niggas who niggas know. Like, this ain't just like a character or something or a movie role, and then nigga just fades away, and you just be like, oh, well, I think they should have did this with his character. Like, it's still like a video game or some shit like that. Of course niggas will be upset.
Okay, so when I saw drill, and you could definitely chime in. When I saw drill was so hyped up by everyone. I had to give a different perspective of what that was for people to realize that's not cool. And
okay, but if you feel that way, it's lame to go up and sit next to the nigga. There's nothing wrong with going up on the platform and using it as an opportunity to potentially, I don't know, talk about Chicago yourself, talk about the positives that are happening in the city, talk about, the new music that's coming out, talk about your new records, hopefully maybe put on some of your own shit and maybe help on some of your partners and shit like that. It don't have to be geared toward and centered around Akademiks. From what I understand of this interview, it only got to this point because Akademiks asked this question. I thought it looked like Vic was just gonna keep the shit moving and not even mention it and just continue going on. But you asked the question, so now we here. Like, that's really it. I was gonna keep it sweet, and then you asked me that, so I can't act like I'm not, sitting across from a nigga who was doing some crazy shit and talking crazy on my friends or my people. That's just kind of nuts,
Whether you agreed with it, right? And again, you're very close. You're involved in it. Chief Keef didn't like me. Dirk didn't like me. I mean, I think they grew to understand that the content was not just negative. right?
No, it was clowning. It was just negative, man.
No.
Like, come on, boy.
You don't think it was nothing constructive about it?
There was nothing constructive about it, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. I really think you a bitch because.
In what sense?
Because there's a video.
See, right here in this moment, right? Right here in this moment, this is where he should have stopped trying to be aggressive. After he called the nigga a bitch and he stayed in his seat and he realized, buddy, right here, Joe ain't get like nobody shifted any movements or no momentum anywhere. Like after you called this nigga a bitch and he responded to you saying, in what sense? You should have known that he was never gonna take it to where you could have potentially been trying to take it. So that lets you know in this moment, I'm not even gonna go try to get physical with this nigga because it's just not worth it. We not the same person. He's not where I'm at. So aggressive and this nigga don't go in the same sentence. That just don't mesh. Any other nigga that you say this to, maybe they go meet you where you at. But in what sense is kind of crazy.
Because
I'm a bitch in what sense is kind of crazy.
There's a video that you put up about a person named Trey 57 making up.
That gets aggressive towards women though. I wouldn't necessarily say that's aggressiveness. I just think that's like some niggas know who to show their frustration and anger to. So like if you show anger and frustration to some niggas, they like, oh, what you trying to do? Like it's a threat. Like I don't like that type of energy. You know you're not going, you know what I'm saying? I know it's probably still bitch made to do it to women, I guess, but I guess that's why. I wouldn't understand, but yeah, that's why.
All these jokes. Oh, here's another Chirac Savage. Like this guy's stupid. And
it's kind of crazy, but yeah.
This is not a video game. That's the nigga I grew up with since I was 5 years old. And to see you come on the
so
internet
funny.
And like with this corny ass little voice and make jokes about it, like you know, I was waiting to see you. And it's a couple people waiting to see you. I heard you say you didn't want to come to Chicago when I sat down, because you clearly don't, because you really couldn't even stand outside. You get chased out the mall.
Wait, I do get love in Chicago though. Like, I mean,
the mall, DJ Akademiks.
I mean, truth be told, there's a mixed reaction.
You know you can't deal with that.
So you act like there's no love for me in Chicago?
No.
I wish I'd have known.
And you need to.
I wouldn't have put him in that seat. I would have sat there.
No.
When you talk about real niggas, man, from a real place,
I follow Vic. I follow the Chicago scene. The Chicago scene I've covered a lot. Here's where I disagree with you with, right? I understand. No, I can't say my part.
I mean, it was. I get this was only funny because of the lack of awareness of the situation. Vic Face is crazy right here. I'm not gonna lie. This is only funny because of the lack of awareness of the situation. Like a nigga tells you this, you don't really. It's not really up for you to be arguing with him about it. It's just like, okay, I see where you coming from. Unless you want to fight the nigga. The only course of action isn't really for you to debate it because he's right.
Struggle was a pretty decent show for a minute.
It was. They had a little good thing going on.
No, you can't.
Okay, no. So
he should have moved on at this point. This right here, arguing back, like that's internet shit, bro. Like you're in a real setting. You just be like, all right, I'm gonna just take that L, keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying?
I disagree that it was just all clowning. Right now, there's satire used, right, and I know exactly what you're talking about. It's Warren Chirac, by the way, if you guys don't know. But I always had that positive message. Yo, y'all gotta cut it out.
Satire is a form of clowning.
No. Yeah, but it's not on some like with no type of responsibility. Always offered
zero
advice.
Responsibility.
Satire,
man. That's like
when
you
I look
sitting
up-
there, you're fucking.
Wait, zero responsibility when I'm offering advice at times, and I'm
offering
also
advice. Who made you eligible to even weigh in? You sitting at a computer, jacking
Everybody
off,
weighs in.
fucking typing.
Wait.
typing
Everybody
about
weighs in
real,
on everything.
Talking about real life. You talking about real shit. What you know about that, bro?
No, doesn't everybody weigh in on
What
everything?
Not in that way. You really built a following off of clowning our deaths, people that I really know. And you know what's
Not gonna lie, Vic a whole ass hypocrite after dissing X after he died. Like, what the fuck was that? He is 100%. He took a massive L after he decided to, like, I don't know what he was thinking. He decided to go out on a whim and just be like, hey, in front of the nigga's mom, I'ma diss the nigga, even though I admitted to choking my girl, you know, and I did some crazy shit. I don't know why he admitted that, but he admitted to it. I'm basically the same nigga, but I vehemently despise and disagree with any nigga that does that while the mom is sitting in the crowd. It was just really poor taste. Not the time. I don't know why he thought that was going to be his moment to be looked at as like, I don't know what he thought he was going to be looked at as. I really don't. But it is what it is. I forgot what he said too while he was on stage, but yeah, it was corny as fuck. He just didn't do himself justice after this moment. Like the antics around him just took over, and the music never spoke out louder than the shit that he was doing. So he fell off based off that. But and you see the music that we just listened to, it's a reflection of you not taking your music more serious than the antics outside of it. Gold Link type beat, kinda. Even though Gold Link was way worse. Gold Links was way worse.
Fucked up about it, and why I said the things I said to you.
Gold Link didn't give a fuck.
It's because
oh my god,
you would be in a room. There's no cameras. There's no security. You see us. You wouldn't make no jokes. You wouldn't make a single joke.
Well, first of all, I gave an outside perspective.
Would you make a joke? Would you make a joke?
A joke about what?
No,
That
you
was-
wouldn't.
okay, give me
Hey,
some.
don't waste my camera time. He wouldn't make the joke.
You wouldn't make the
He
joke.
wouldn't make the joke.
So
Wait,
don't
wait,
just
which-
be sitting like a fucking, like an internet gangster.
No,
talking
I've
about
never
like making.
I don't think you understand me, truth be told. Because
Well-
I never portray myself.
Well,
I
on
do,
another
and the
show,
reason I
we
say
can
that is because
understand
those
you.
are ballsy things to say. That you said. Those are ballsy things to say, not coming from a ballsy person. Pause.
I can't take niggas serious when they say shit like this. Cause if you dead serious, bro, you can't stop your seriousness and say pause. Cause I'm a bust out laughing. I'm a bust out laughing if you say that. You gotta just keep it pushing, and I gotta say pause in my mind. You can't say pause because I'm a bust out laughing.
But those are brave things to say, and I don't take you for a brave man. I really think that that's cowardice. I think that entire perspective that I'm gonna make a life off of joking about these young black men killing each other, that's coward shit, man. And you wouldn't say it
Wait,
to
wait, wait.
nobody
Hold on,
when
hold
the
on.
cameras
Let
is
me
on.
ask you a question. So you expected me to cover drill music, everything around it, but not like how do you cover?
Nobody asked you to cover it though. Like, I'm pretty sure he did that of his own free will. And there's certain people that I have a lot of respect for too that don't just don't cover drill music. They just don't talk about it because there's not really a way to talk about some music like that without getting into the intricacies of who this person is talking about and what this means in terms of this and how this could be a quote unquote better bar because it actually happened in real life. Like, you don't want to get into those territories, so you can just opt out and be like, yeah, this is nasty work. I'm gonna let them figure out they shit, and hopefully when it gets better, maybe then I can listen to it or cover it. But until then, you just get messy. You get messy and for no reason, and you just hyping it up, putting it out to people that don't understand it, or making the reach bigger. That's just not good, you know. That's why I don't like to listen to or cover a lot of the shit that's going on in New York, because they really dissing like real niggas. They really actually fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's actually happening. You could just be like, nah, like that's not me. That's not my. I don't want to talk about that. That's kind of nasty.
Who told you to make a video series? You're not even from Chicago, called The War in Chirac, where you go into the smallest details of like murders. What is that? Like, that's, you know what? That's just like, that's parasitic. That's what they do to our culture from the outside, and that's exactly what you do to our culture from the outside.
I cover music. I have
That's not music.
You
I'm
can't
talking about
have a series
that's
called
not-
War in Chirac.
That's
You've
not
never been to
music.
Chirac.
That's not music. I'm talking about where you think you're like basically one of those little kids that makes like fan fiction on the internet, and they just like create these worlds about people they don't even know. It's just kind of sick when it's real people dying young. I'm at those funerals. I just left one of those funerals on Friday. You feel me? From a 22-year-old shot 5 times on 61st Street, and that's something that you would take. I'm happy he wasn't a rapper, so you wouldn't clown him. Cause Trey, Nigel was my fucking brother. That's my brother I grew up with since age 5. And to see you clown him, and I know you wouldn't clown him if you ever saw us outside of a safe, controlled environment, man, that's some whole shit. But we should just move on.
We should move on.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
No, it's
I
fine.
didn't know this was a point of contention.
I was gonna chill. He asked me.
You gonna need Shorty at? Ain't this Nadeska? Vic spitting this vid. Wait, Vic spitting in this vid, but crazy hypocritical in the long run. Yeah, that's really his downfall.
No.
Think about niggas doing that.
He moved back to it.
I always gotta
Nadeska got a kid? What the fuck was happening?
ask because
No, you don't. Let's move on. We done.
Yo, let me
Let's-
speak.
let's-
No, let me speak.
You
let me speak.
spoke.
Nigga, shut up. Listen, I had to ask that because
I let
that's
him
something
do it.
I've been interested in. You've always been very conscious and outspoken on that, so I always got to ask.
But now that
I mean,
you
even if it's a disagreement or a point at me,
It
it's
sounds
fine.
like there's nothing
Yeah,
else
it's
to
fine.
say, right?
No, hell
That's 100% not fine, but I get what you're saying. You know.
no. It was well worded. Shit, I thought he did a good job. Let's get to it.
All right.
I
You still
should have
feel
been in that
good,
seat though.
Shut up is crazy. It ain't too crazy. It ain't too crazy. But this is also why I don't it's too much.
Put some respect on MGK name and watch the new freestyle with Corday.
Holy fuck. That sounds like the biggest waste of time in human history. This is just also why I'm not, what do you call that? Either you're not professional enough or you just not you're too immature to be on a show like this. This is something that you just fear, I guess. I would fear being in a position like this. Granted, I don't be talking crazy, but I would fear being in a position like this. A nigga say some shit like that to me, and then I don't think it's about not being camera ready. It's just about not being calm enough in situations like this to be like, to take yourself out of the moment and be like, okay, this is bigger than, you know what I'm saying, the situation. Like the moment that this could create, let me chill, let me calm down. Let me not act like this is that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not. It could be, but now you gotta prove. Like that's a lot. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. I just wouldn't want to be in that situation.